Hello, I'm John Davis. I'm the Communications Director here at United Cooperative Services. And as many of you know, last week we announced on social media the possibility that we might provide our members with high-speed broadband internet service. And several of you had great questions about how this would be done and how much it would cost. So we thought we'd take some time to answer all these questions at one time with our CEO, Cameron Smallwood. Cameron, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
So were you surprised at the response that we received on social media to provide high-speed broadband?
You know, I was. We've been meeting with our members for some time to talk about different issues affecting them across our territory. And one thing that we continue to hear from our members is the potential of United stepping in to provide high-speed broadband internet service where others aren't doing so in our territory. And so, we get those comments across the territory, but we really didn't know how many folks really desired that. And when we posted that first video with the idea of doing such, it really surprised me is how many members responded positively.
So Sue and Linda on Facebook asked the million-dollar question, what levels of service and how much will it cost? Do we have that answer yet?
That's a great question, John. Let's start with the plan question. We've looked at a lot of data from other utilities that are doing projects like this, and we see that we'll likely have 2 or 3 plans available if our members were to choose for us to go forward with this. We'll probably have a very high-speed plan that will be available to the majority of our members of a gig service, and which is quite fast. Very few of our members in our territory have access to gig service today. Now, with that said, some members aren't going to need that kind of speed, and so we realize there needs to be probably a slower plan available, and we're definitely going to have something along those lines, probably no less than 50 megabit service is what we're looking at for the bottom end. Now, from a price standpoint, we haven't determined price yet. It's something that we're looking at. We have modeled some initial pricing in our feasibility study when we reviewed, can we actually do this? And that pricing, we've reviewed all the other options in our territory. And what I can say, without talking about price specifically today, is that the pricing that we modeled in our feasibility plan is very, very competitive with what's available in the market, but with speeds that are much greater, number one, and with service that is exceptional. What our members have come to expect from United.
All right. Well, the big number 2 question, as Betsy pointed out on social media, was, is the rural areas going to receive this, and when will they receive service? Many people were asking, how long will it take for the service to get to me?
Yeah, so that's a great question too, and while we haven't figured this out 100% yet either, one of the things that we're considering is how do we ensure that most of our members get service as quickly as possible, and that's a tough thing. So if you look at our system, we have 11,000 miles of electric distribution line out there serving our members today. We started that in the late 1939 and built that through today. So to think that we can replicate that in a year or two is pretty difficult. Now, with that said, we're looking at the big picture and saying how quickly can we do this if our members ask us to do it, and we're looking at about a 5 to 6 year project most likely. We'd like to do it a little bit sooner if we can, and we'll be evaluating resources to get that done if our members do in fact ask us to go forward with this. And so, probably anywhere from 5 to 6 years for everyone. Now, obviously, if we get started with this, some members would be getting service probably as soon as 6 to 9 months from now. That would be our goal if we do in fact go forward. So it's really up to once we get the answer from our members, we're going to get moving quickly if they say yes. Now, the other question you asked me is how will we balance installing the service in our territory? And that is a tough question. Obviously, we need revenue quickly to make the financials work but at the same time, we want to serve the rural portions of our territory that are underserved today. And so our view is if our members do tell us to go forward with this, we'll probably widespread start deployment of service. And so that means we'll be both working in the urban areas and the rural areas at the same time. That is our plan as of now.
Kind of make it fair for everybody. Everybody gets a chance.
That's right. And so we would probably site construction crews in all 6 of our operational districts.
Okay. Mark had some questions about how we're going to deliver this service. Is it going to come through our power lines? And another member, Curtis, was concerned, that's going to mess up his television reception if we do that. We're not doing this over the lines, are we?
So that's a great question too. And years ago, there was a service called Broadband over Powerline that was, I guess, being designed and developed by a company in Alabama. We actually did talk with them back then, but that service is not available today. It didn't work out technically like they thought it would. And so our service that we're talking about is over fiber optic line. And the fiber optics will reach probably about 80 to 90% of our members, and then we'll use wireless to hit the most rural areas. But even the wireless, I guess that technology will be the latest and greatest technology from a wireless standpoint, carrier class, and will provide pretty high speed. It won't be the same as fiber, but some of those areas may only have 10 to 20 homes in 100 square miles, and it's really difficult to make the financial side work with fiber optics there. But the majority of our members will have access to fiber optic line directly.
So Kenneth was asking, will we provide telephone service and will we provide television?
As a part of our feasibility study that we looked at, we included telephone service in that for a percentage of our members that we thought would take that service. We do have the capability to provide that over the broadband connection.
Oh, wow.
And so we are looking at doing that because we understand some of our members will desire that. The second part of that is the TV equation, and that gets much more complicated, but that doesn't mean that we're not open to it. And so that's something that we'll be talking to our broadband advisory group about in the coming months. We do think it's an opportunity that we could improve service for a number of our members out in the rural communities, and so it is something that we're looking into right now.
Well, Cameron, thank you for joining us today and answering all those questions for us.
Thank you, John.
And members, this week, June 1st, you're going to start seeing the special ballot for high-speed broadband internet from United in your mailbox. So please take the time to fill it out. Let us know yes or no whether you would like United to provide you with high-speed broadband internet service. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Davis.